Namaskar mora Odia bai o boni mane mona Carrie, and welcome back to my channel, Carrie Lisi. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be showing you my attempt at dahi baigana. It is one of DJ's favorite Odia home foods for us to make in our home. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to start off with our baigana and slice it into thin pieces. So like I said, we're just going to slice it into thin pieces, anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 inch. It just depends on how thick you want. So the next thing you're going to do is take your dahi or yogurt. We're using whole Greek yogurt because it's harder to find dahi here. And spoon about 1 cup to 1.5 cups into a bowl. I never measure anything, so get it as close to this as you can. And we're going to mix in a little bit of chili powder. It's more like a lot of it. And then we're just going to let it sit out while we cook the eggplant so it can get down to room temperature, because we'll mix it in at the end. So for the next step, I'm going to take my ring off because the turmeric always turns my whole hand yellow. In here I've got turmeric, chili powder, salt, pepper, and I'm just going to add a little bit of water into this and make it a paste and mix it up.
You'll find the link to purchase this beautiful t-shirt with the map of Odisha in the background in the video description below.
So now that I've got the spices formed into like a paste, we're just going to start rubbing this over the brinjal, or eggplant as we call it in the US, just to cover the surface area, and we'll do it on both sides.
So the brinjal that we get in India are not so big, and they are not in perfect round shape as they are in the States. What is the reason behind it, you think, Carrie?
Hormones, I don't know. What do they add to this stuff?
The GMOs?
Uh-huh. So now that I've rubbed down all of the eggplant, I don't know if you can see how yellow my hands are.
They're pretty yellow.
We're going to add a little bit of mustard oil to our pan. And I love this stuff because it gives it a really distinct flavor. So I'm going to heat this over medium and let it get nice and warm before we add anything to the pan.
So eita hela chimta. Amo India re chimta kuandiaku, but here we call it, what do we call this, Carrie?
Tongs.
Tongs.
So now we're going to go ahead and start putting these in the pan. Be careful because sometimes the oil comes back at you. And just as many as you can easily fit there. I'm not using a flat pan, so it's going to take me a little while to get these guys done. Just cook them enough until you can tell that when you flip them over that the oil is kind of seeped into it. So I think these are pretty good and they're ready to flip. You can see that they're pretty soaked on the one side.
Are they supposed to be crispy or they?
They should be a little brown. The seasoning should start to brown. But other than that, if you press, they should just give way to your tongs or whatever utensil you're using.
So baigana sabu soris telore fry kala pore next step hochi chunka daba. So which is called tempering, and Carrie will explain you how we do it.
Okay, so now we are going to temper some curry leaves and mustard seeds. I'll put the amount on the screen. And I actually use dried curry leaves. We buy them fresh whenever we go to the Indian store, and I like to save them because we don't get them very often, so I just put them in a jar. I'm going to add a little bit of, I say a little bit, but like a tablespoon. We like a lot of mustard oil in this house.
I love mustard oil.
And as that, give it a second to heat up, and then we'll add. So go ahead and dump this in there and just mix it in, and we'll let it heat until those seeds start popping, which if you've let your oil heat long enough, should be pretty quick. So in the same pan that you cooked your eggplant in, we're gonna scoop the dahi in there and just warm it up.
Must already be in room temperature, but we want to make sure it's
Yeah, you don't want
a
it to
fluid
be
form.
too cold.
Right.
And you want to do this on low, because if you do it on anything higher, it gets a little piecey, like curdled.
Right.
And I just turn it off really quick.
And you want to do it in the same pan because you don't want to miss out on the masala and the oil that was used for the...
Exactly, you want all the flavor. And now that everything is all done, we're going to go ahead and plate our meal. I made some rice earlier. It was just sitting in the microwave to keep warm.
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice. It's always sticky rice.
That's Carrie's specialty.
I cook it too long every time.
But I still like it.
Add some eggplant. And now we're going to top it with the dahi.
The warm dahi.
Yeah.
The masala dahi.
It makes a difference.
So there's a specialty dish in Odisha, we call it dahi bora aludam, and all people, especially from Cuttack.
Something with potatoes?
Yes, it does have potato in it. It's delicious. It's a big street food in India, especially people. It originated from Cuttack, and people in Cuttack and Bhubaneswar go crazy about dahi.
What is bara?
Bora is like fried donut. Donut is fried itself, but you've had that bora before in an Indian store. But that bora, remember in one of the temple stores we had a bora, but that bora is now served with onions, cilantro leaves, potatoes,
cilantro.
and a lot of masala and gravy.
It sounds like a giant dahi puri.
Yeah, exactly.
Finished it off. The curry leaves and mustard seeds that we tempered, we're just going to put on top.
Chunka.
And that's it.
That does look delicious.
Time to dig in. And if you haven't noticed yet, we always eat in front of the TV.
We always do. We don't have a dining table, but hey, I mean.
Yeah,
okay.
Only during the winter months when our balcony is too cold to put a table on.
Let's try.
It's been so long since we've had this, I've really missed it.
मजा आसी वाला. एक नंबर.
मजा आ गया.
मजा आ गया. भाई मोने एक नंबर है जी, एक नंबर.
So don't forget to let us know in the comments below if you'd like us to try any specialty dish from where you're from, or any specific Odia dishes that we haven't tried yet. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so that you're the first to know when we post something next. See you guys next time.